Victims, 17 passengers believed to be aboard, plus 2 crew members, 12 bodies pulled from the sea.
We're still trying to recover as many people as possible. We have not brought anybody out of the water that was alive.
Back live on South Beach, the recovery effort continues. Remember, at last check, 12 people had been pulled out. 12 dead bodies had been pulled out of the water. That would leave 5, at least 5, that are still out there and yet to be recovered. We can also tell you that many witnesses told of this explosion that they heard in the sky moments before this plane took this nosedive into the water. That is unconfirmed by officials at this point. But because of those reports, the FBI is being called in to help in the investigation. That's the latest right now on South Beach. Joel Brown, 7 News.
All right, Joel. And we should bring you the latest information, Joe. There were 20 people on board that flight, 18 passengers, 2 pilots, and among the passengers, 3 infants. 14 are now dead, and 6 people are unaccounted for, just so that you are aware, because you're obviously running around trying to gather the information from there. But this number has been changing all afternoon because of all of the agencies involved, and the situation has been very fluid, but that is the very latest according to the Coast Guard.
And may well continue to change as the afternoon wears on. Right now we want to bring in 7's Tiffany Tucker. She's heard from some folks who saw what happened when this plane ran into trouble and then went down. She's also on Miami Beach. Tiffany?
Well, Craig, this is a scene, as you can see behind me. There are large crowds along that crime scene tape, and off in the distance you can probably see that Coast Guard cutter conducting their search and rescue. We talked to surfers, we talked to tourists, we talked to a fisherman, several people with their own personal accounts of what happened. They say this is something that will never leave their minds. They say this is something that happened in a matter of seconds.
All right, Tiffany, we're going to interrupt you right now because we're going to head to Fort Lauderdale, the Chalks Airways International headquarters, and we're going to hear from officials there addressing what happened today.
I'm the General Manager and Director of Operations for Chalks Airlines. N-A-I-R. And like Nancy, A-I-R.
Super Roger Nair, N-A-I-R.
And we regret to inform you that Chalks International Flight 101 with 18 passengers, which includes 3 infants and 2 crew members, has gone off the waters in Miami Beach. The flight had departed our seaplane base in Watson Island and was on its way to the island of Bimini in the Bahamas. Chalks has been in airline business since 1919, and this is our only crash with passengers. We are a close-knit family airline, and most of our passengers have been our customers for an extended period of time. Our thoughts and our prayers are with our passengers and our crews. We are presently trying to gather as much information as possible, and it will be released to the public as soon as we have them. Meanwhile, we have informed the FAA and the NTSB in Washington, and they're getting their GO teams together. Thank you, folks.
Mr. Mayor, confirm fatalities.
Mr. Mayor, let you know more information when we have it, okay? Thank you, guys.
All right, looks like a very brief statement there from Roger Nair. He says he's the general manager of Chalks Airways. The flight number, now we know, was 101, departed from Watson Island, where all of these flights depart from, and was headed to Bimini. And the people on board, which we had just the number remained the same, 20 total, 18 passengers. Among those passengers, 3 infants and 2 pilots were on board there. And according to Mr. Nair there, these are repeat passengers that have flown with the airline before.
And he made reference to their previous safety record, and I believe there was an incident several years ago. We'll be looking into that, involving a Chalks plane crash that ended in a fatality. But we'll get back to that as our coverage continues here. Meanwhile, we had to interrupt Tiffany Tucker, who's heard from some folks who saw this particular incident this afternoon. We apologize, Tiffany. We'll let you pick it up where you left off.
Well, Craig, as we told you moments ago, the Coast Guard cutter is continuing their search and rescue mission. And while that takes place, witnesses describe what they saw, what they heard. They say this is something they've never seen before, and that this was something that happened in just a matter of seconds. An explosion in the sky. People on Miami Beach 1 minute enjoying the day. The next, all hell breaks loose.
The plane was flying pretty low next to the freight ship,
and it was a little bit loud. We were kind of looking and thought it was an interesting picture or whatever. I didn't take a picture. And then it goes along to the pier, and all of a sudden we just heard it blow up. And I saw 2 pieces, and it went down into the water.
This man fishing when the plane took the dangerous plunge, taking lives. He describes what happened as something he's never seen before.
I seen a plane coming through Government Cut, make a left-hand turn. Wing came off, exploded. They pulled 1 body out already. They said there were 17 people on board. Miami Beach Fire Rescue Ambulance, they were there. They jumped in the water.
It came right over our heads. The whole bottom of it was on fire. And we thought it was going to land right on top of us. And it was really low to the ground too. It came right over our heads, on fire, smoking from behind, came down and kind of dipped. And the nose just came right over us and we thought it went right into the rocks. We saw it crash.
Something didn't seem right all day. It was a very weird day. There was weird light here. Something weird was going on the entire day. So this is a bad way to end it too.
Back out live here, you see these are live pictures of the Coast Guard cutter continuing their search and rescue mission. That woman you saw in the piece just there, she is a photographer. She was in the middle of a photo shoot taking some pictures of a model. She said the pictures, these images in the sky were so disturbing that she chose not to shoot them because she was in complete shock. That's the latest here from Miami Beach. Tiffany Tucker, 7 News.
All right, can only imagine. Thanks, Tiffany, for that.
Wow, well, another very active scene, obviously, Miami Beach Coast Guard Station, where those victims have been going to all afternoon long, and the Coast Guard very busy still trying to rescue any of the other passengers that may still be alive at this hour. Rosh Lowe is standing by live for us now with the very latest from Coast Guard. Rosh?
Belkis, all afternoon we have been seeing the grim sight over my shoulder here, the Coast Guard station at Miami Beach. They have recovered body after body, 14 bodies in total, we are told so far. Also, just getting information from the U.S. Coast Guard that there was one Good Samaritan who was out there jet skiing on the waters. He actually recovered a body, brought it back to shore, but that body was a fatality as well. We spoke with the U.S. Coast Guard. They did tell us that 20 people were on this flight, including 3 infants. They are also saying, the Coast Guard is, they're getting calls, obviously, from very concerned family members, and they are directing those people to go to the medical examiner's office where these bodies will now be taken. There isn't a lot more information from the Coast Guard as far as the manifest, who exactly was on this plane. They tell me they haven't gotten that information yet. They do, though, tell me that only details, information they have as far as passengers go, are those 3 infants that were on board. If you look at this live picture here at the Coast Guard station on Miami Beach, you will see that there still are fire rescue trucks that are out here. They came here in a mad rush when the event first happened, in the hope that there would be some survivors out there. But as you can see in these live pictures right now, these trucks really aren't going anywhere. In fact, they are standing right there. If we can roll some more video, this is the site that we have been seeing, though. The fire rescue trucks haven't been moving, but we do see people bringing the bodies out of the water. The Coast Guard also telling us, though, they are holding out hope, and that's why, for the time being, and they have stopped traffic in the port of Miami. They say, and their quote here is that they do not want cruise ships going through the crash site now in the slimmest of hope that there is somebody pinned underneath some of the debris. So at this hour, the Coast Guard is still out there on the waters off of Miami Beach as they continue to retrieve bodies from those waters, including 3 infants. That is the very latest from the Coast Guard station here on Miami Beach. Rosh Lowe, 7 News.
All right, Rosh, thank you for that report from the Coast Guard station.
We'd been mentioning earlier in our coverage that those who thought they might have loved ones on board this flight had been urged to head on over to the Coast Guard station. Then it was the Miami Beach morgue. Some of them, I gather now, are also at Chuck's headquarters on Watson Island.
Nicole Ensalada is there for us with the very latest from that scene. Nicole?
Well, as you can imagine, it has been very frustrating for these family members. In fact, none of them are currently here, but they have been showing up and leaving because they've been very frustrated. They've been knocking on doors and windows here at Chalks trying to get any information. Folks who believe that they have family members on that airplane. Let's go ahead and listen to what they had to say.
That's all I've heard so far, that they were on the plane and it went down. And I'm trying to find information. I don't know where the ticket offices I need to find. They told me to come to the ticket office.
They were on a flight going to Bimini, and the only thing that we know, something happened on takeoff, and we just don't know much else other than that. My father-in-law and my nephew was on that plane. We just don't know yet, okay? Thank you, please.
My mother and my aunt is on that plane. Please, let me breathe. Okay, I have a handicapped son. I'm trying to stay calm for. Okay? I want to find out some information, but I can't. All right?
Okay, and coming back out here live at Chalks headquarters on Watson Island, you can see Miami Beach police have some personnel here. They have gone inside. They've been inside for several minutes, but we have not been able to determine yet from them why exactly they were here. Now, I did speak to someone from Chalks on the phone. I've talked to her repeatedly, and she said she's been unable to make any kind of comment, but she did say that they are trying to check a flight manifest. And for right now, at least several minutes ago, she said she had nowhere specific in which to direct the families. And again, families have been showing up here and still looking for answers. Reporting live at Chalks headquarters, Nicole Ensalada. Back to you, Craig and Belkis.
Nicole, thanks.
A lot of anxious people this afternoon, no doubt. All right, of course, we want to remind you to stay here with 7 News for continuing coverage of the crash off of Government Cut. We have a team of reporters covering the story, and we will bring you the very latest information as we get it.
Our coverage will continue right after this. Stay tuned.
7 News, brought to you in part by Kia, makers of darn good cars with a darn good warranty.
The greenbacks are disappearing at an alarming rate, thousands every day. Like this one, abused and mistreated, but you can help by taking part in Kia's Save the Greenbacks program with thousands cash back on many models. Like the rugged Sorrento or the Sedona minivan, greenbacks are able to stay in their natural habitats, such as your pockets, wallets, and bank accounts. Hurry and save the greenbacks.
Don't wait another second. Get up to $3,500 cash back at your Dade, Broward, and Monroe County Kia retailers today.
I'm Anthony Caliendo, the main man in the mortgage business at Acceptance Capital Mortgage. If you're looking to refinance your existing home or purchase a new one, no matter what your situation, good credit, bad credit, or even bankruptcy, there's almost no deal that I can't get done. My motivation is simple. For every mortgage we process, Acceptance Capital Mortgage makes a donation to kids in distress, helping thousands of abused and neglected children. Call me for all your residential and commercial financing needs. And thank you for the opportunity to earn your business.
From all of us at Sanderson Farms, we wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And we mean that 100%.
You're watching 7 News continuing coverage. The crash of Government Cut, a seaplane carrying 20 people crashing off Miami Beach earlier this afternoon, killing at least 14 of them. The search continues for any possible survivors.
We are expecting to hear from perhaps officials from Miami Beach. Maybe the Coast Guard. Looks like we lost our picture there, but as you can see, there is a setup there on the beach. We are expecting to hear from officials regarding the accident at some point when that news conference does start. We will definitely have it for you.
Right now, we want to take you inside the Newsplex for more information from there.
Tom Haynes is standing by with a look at the type of plane that went down today. What do we know about this, Tom?
Belkis Chalks Airways Flight 101 with 18 passengers on board, 2 crew, 3 infants included, headed from the port of Miami to Bimini. This is a Grumman G-73 turbine aircraft. It is a workhorse aircraft in that it has been in service for quite some time and has a nearly perfect track record. Back to you guys.
Tom, yeah, we mentioned the news conference. This is Miami Beach City Manager George Gonzalez. Let's listen in.
Airplane
crashed into the waters just east of the jetty and the pier that is of Miami Beach. We know a few things. 19 passengers that were on the plane. We have been able to recover 19 bodies. No survivors at this point. The scene is being secured. Obviously, the federal agencies will come in and do their investigation. FAA, National Transportation Safety Board have all been contacted. FAA is on the scene. NTSB is sending its team out to begin its investigations. I'm going to ask our fire chief to give you a little bit about what happened as far as the response and recovery efforts, and then the police chief will talk a little bit about what the next steps are as far as securing the site. Before I call them on, though, I want to express our condolences to the families of the victims. On behalf of the mayor and the city commission of Miami Beach, I want to make sure that they know that everything that we could do to help, we did. It's unfortunate that this circumstance played out this way. I also want to thank all of the agencies that have been involved in this recovery effort. Miami-Dade Fire, Miami-Dade Police, City of Miami Police, all have sent representatives. The medical examiner will be involved. The Coast Guard, all have been involved in this effort. So we'll hold questions to the end, but let me ask Floyd Jordan to come up and say a few things about the immediate response that Miami Beach took care of.
Thank you. We were notified at about 14:40, that's 20 minutes of 3, about this particular incident. We had a very quick response. Our units arrived on the scene in about a little over 2 minutes at 14:42. Our intent when we first arrived was to try to find as many survivors as possible. As the manager stated, unfortunately, even though we retrieved some of the bodies, but we were unable to find anyone that had survived this tragic incident. Our ocean rescue personnel, they witnessed this event while the plane was in the air. They responded very quickly. They were the first in the water, and they were the first to retrieve at least the first 2 victims that was brought on board. I certainly would like to take this opportunity to certainly thank the efforts of our fire personnel. They made a gallant effort. They did the best they could in order to get in the water as quickly as possible. There was a quick response. Unfortunately, their efforts did not result in any survivors. Don.
Good afternoon. I'd also like to start out with our condolences to the family. Right now, the police department is securing the scene, working with the FAA, NTSB, the City of Miami, Miami-Dade Police Department, the State Attorney's Office, and the ME's office in a cohesive investigation, interviewing witnesses, recovery of any items that might have to be pulled into from the water. And this is really the beginning for us at this point. And I'll welcome any questions anybody might have.
Do you have any reason to believe that there was foul play involved at this point?
We have no information at this time.
Did you gentlemen say that as far as you know, all of the bodies have been recovered? Or
Correct.
Some?
All of the bodies have been recovered.
So there were 19 people on
19 passengers on board.
How many were
19 passengers on board. My understanding, we don't have the manifest in our hands, but it's alleged that there are 17 passengers and 2 crew members.
Do you have a list of passengers?
We do not.
Any infants on board?
I can't answer that question. I'm not familiar. That's information that you'll need to check with Chalks Airline.
What's the pilot's name?
I don't have any information on the passengers.
Do you know, can any of you speak to what witnesses may have seen?
Do you want to report what you've heard so far? Yes.
Basically, 2 of our ocean rescue lifeguards, they were on duty. What they witnessed was a plane heading out. They witnessed a plane with a lot of smoke coming from the engines, and at some point, very briefly, there was what they believed to be an explosion, what appeared to be an explosion. One wing they thought might have came off, and then the plane headed straight down into the water.
Was there ever a distress?
Immediately, they called it in and reported it so that we can get our emergency units responding as quickly as possible. They actually went out with the intent of trying to find survivors. Unfortunately, it did not happen.
Was there any communication about a distress call?
Say again?
How large is the debris site, or is it all contained in one area?
The area is kind of contained. The fuselage went down into the water, even though it's broken up somewhat, but it is still basically, it's not sprued all over the place. So they've been able to go in with the dive teams and to be able to recover all of the 19 victims.
Was there any distress call communication?
The only call that our communications received was the original calls that came in from our lifeguards who are on duty with their radios, and they called in and reported there was a plane in distress and went down.
Chief, how deep was the water where the plane went down? And did I understand you correctly that your divers went into the wreckage and took the people out?
Originally, our lifeguards, they went into the water to try to retrieve as many survivors as they could. The depth of the water at that point in time, I cannot tell you that, particular information. And then when our fire crews responded, our people that are dive certified and dive trained, they began going into the water trying to come up with survivors.
Into the plane? Into the remnants?
Into the water and into the plane as best they could, trying to find survivors.
When the plane went down immediately, did private boaters and surfers go to the scene to try to retrieve survivors?
There were people out there were people on the beach side that witnessed this, but at that point in time, our goal was to try to contain the area of the incident and not to allow people to come in. Once our lifeguards got there, once our other emergency response units responded to the scene, as well as the police, our goal was kind of contain the area so that we can do our work there.
Were all 19 people found on the plane, or were some of them in the water?
Some were in the water. The original 2 victims that was brought on board, they were in the water, and they were actually retrieved by our ocean lifeguards.
And then 17 others
in the plane in that general particular area.
So we're next step in this investigation.
I'll turn that over to police for that.
I'm sorry?
Next step in the investigation.
Right now, to secure the scene, interview witnesses, work with NTSB, who's going to be here, who's here now, but the rest of the team is coming in from Washington and the FAA.
Do you think that have a black box or something that will record the last few minutes of the crash?
I'm not sure.
What kind of a plane was it?
I don't know the model. It's a Chalks airplane, so it's one of those seaplanes that they use.
Mr. Gonzalez, can we please get a statement from you in Spanish? We have a lot of Hispanic people here representing. ¿Pudiera decir, por favor, que fuera un poquito?
Alrededor de las 2:45, un avión de Chalks Airlines.
All right, there we have it. We went through the information in English, and now City Manager of Miami Beach, George Gonzalez, there addressing the Spanish-speaking media that has assembled on the sand there on Miami Beach on a tragic day on the beach as a Chalks Airways plane goes down in government cut. 20 people on board, and 19 of those people are dead.
That is the latest number we're now getting from the Coast Guard, that 19 have been killed. The search continues for that one remaining person on board this ill-fated flight. Back with more as our coverage continues after a break.
Closed captioning brought to you by City Furniture, now offering same-day delivery 7 days a week.
Wait, don't drive out to Tropical Chevrolet. Surf on over to tropicalchevrolet.com and check out the incredible red tag specials. The price of the tag is the price you pay. Not a penny more on every 05 and 06 applicable Chevy in stock. Tropicalchevrolet.com, South Florida Chevy dealer for 50 years.
BrandsMart USA is having a huge Christmas sale at all South Florida locations. Come in today and save big in every department. Get a ProView 14-inch LCD flat panel TV for $198.88. Digimate's 26-inch widescreen HD LCD flat panel TV is $598.88. Right now, save big with a $400 instant rebate on all 37 to 42-inch flat panel TVs. Get a $700 instant rebate on all 50-inch flat panel TVs. Get 0% financing until January 2007 on select high-definition televisions. See newspaper ads for more details and huge savings.
The Chevy American Revolution starts at Tropical Chevrolet. It's the annual red tag sale. Save as much as $11,000. Come in and see the savings, your payments, your trade-in. No surprises, no nonsense. Just the best prices guaranteed. Sale in soon. See dealer for details. Tropical Chevrolet, where service is the heart of the deal.
At Tuesday morning, everything is closeout priced. All day, every day. And finding a special gift can sometimes be a problem. Of course, we adore the incredible closeout prices. But we find so many things irresistible that we end up buying them for ourselves, too. Such a problem. Tuesday morning, where you're sure to find a treasure every time you shop.
Toyotathon is back. For 27 years, it's been the greatest time to buy the Toyota you're looking for. Quality, selection, value, you'll find it in every vehicle we build. Check out the Toyota Camry, the best-selling car in America. Now get $750 cash back on the 2006 Camry LE, or sign and drive lease the 2006 Camry LE for just $289 a month for 48 months with absolutely zero due at signing. The place is your Toyota dealer. The time is now. Treat yourself today. Toyota, moving forward.
7 Weather brought to you exclusively by your local Toyota dealers.
7 News continuing coverage continues here. A crash off of Government Cut. A Chalks Airways plane went down there a little before 3 o'clock this afternoon. 20 people on board that prop plane. 19 bodies have been recovered. 1 person still unaccounted for, but the Coast Guard continues their search there in Government Cut, looking for that last possible victim.
We'll take a break from our coverage for just a moment to bring in Chief Meteorologist Phil Farrow. A look at the weather forecast for us. Phil?
Craig and Belkey's what we're looking at over the southeast. We have a combination of the jet stream. Those are the upper level winds moving the clouds from west to east. We also have low pressure over the Bahamas with an associated cold front also keeping us on the cloudy side. As we take a look at the satellite imagery, boy, cloudy over Naples, the Keys, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Palm Beach. As we take a look at the radar, here's the low. Most of the moisture, however, remaining offshore. There are some showers right now over the Gulf side. Could make their way into the southeast later on this evening. Now, as far as temperatures are concerned, from Lake Okeechobee up north in the 60s and 50s and down towards the south in the 60s and 70s. A closer view suggests at 70s from Fort Lauderdale through Miami and already in the 60s from Pompano Beach in through Kendall. And it will be cooler tonight, and by midweek, it will be cold. Here's the future cast. The moisture in the clouds remain tonight. By tomorrow, that cold front will just stall right over the Florida Straits. Slightly cooler, still more showers in store. And as we take a look out into Wednesday, high pressure builds in. It will start to push some of the cloudiness into the Atlantic, but I think we'll still see some isolated showers here into South Florida. Here's the marine forecast for tonight. Small craft advisory in effect due to the seas in the Gulf Stream currents up to 6 feet. The bay will have, a light chop. Now for this evening, cloudy, isolated showers, and the temperatures rather stable in the low 60s. And then by tomorrow, the clouds stick around. Still some possible showers, highs in the mid to upper 70s. And as we take a look at your extended forecast, showers through Wednesday. It will be cold Thursday and Friday. Saturday looks nice. And boy, Sunday, a very important day for a lot of people. It looks beautiful. 77 for a high, 62 for a low. Let's send it back to the desk.
All right, Phil, thanks very much for that.
And let's bring you the very latest information on that crash that took place in Government Cut, because the information is changing yet again. The Chalks Airways flight that went down, we had 20 people on board the flight and 19 bodies recovered, 1 unaccounted for. Now the Coast Guard is saying that there were 19 people on board that flight, and they have indeed recovered 19 victims. So again, the number changed, but the tragedy remains the same.
And we'll be checking in with Joel Brown and our other crews as our coverage continues throughout these next 2 hours of 7 News. That is it, though, at 5 o'clock. I'm Craig Stevens.
I'm Belkys Nure. Lynn and Tom are up next with more.